Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do for you my first actual book review, as in book I've read since I started BookTube, which makes me very proud. And I am going to be talking about this book, which is Ruby by Cynthia Bond. And this came out last year. It was nominated for the Bailey's Prize for Fiction. I'm assuming most of you have heard of it because it's quite well reviewed on BookTube at the moment, so I thought I'd have a read, and when I had read it, thought it was probably worthy of its own review. So for those who haven't heard of it, I'll read you the back quickly, give you some idea of what I'm talking about. Ephraim Jennings has never forgotten the beautiful girl with the long braids running through the piney woods of Liberty, their small East Texas town. For Ruby Bell, Liberty was a place of devastating violence from which she fled to seedy, glamorous 1950s New York. Years later, pulled back home, 30-year-old Ruby is faced with the seething hatred of a town desperate to destroy her. Witnessing her struggle, Ephraim must choose between loyalty to the sister who raised him and the chance for a life with the woman he has loved since he was a boy. That's your basic kind of outline. It doesn't actually, it's not a very good kind of description of what's going to happen at all. It kind of makes it sound like Ruby's this sorted, glamorous woman who's come back from New York, and it's not really like that. She's not really made it. Let's put it that way. And I won't give away too much about the book, but I might give you a couple of spoilers as it goes along. So first I want to say that it is an absolutely beautifully written book. Some of the language is absolutely gorgeous. Her turns of phrase are amazing, and I just don't know if I enjoyed it. I love books that are written poetically, and this really is, but it's so difficult to read. It's just really brutal in places, and I just don't know how I feel. It made me very physically uncomfortable. I had a really strong physical reaction to it. It kind of put me on edge a lot of the time. It made me very nervous as well. I mean, this isn't really a criticism per se, because she's done a fantastic job of making you feel. So there's this part, and what's happened is Ephraim is taking a cake to Ruby. Ruby has slowly declined into madness over the course of some years, and Ephraim is taking her a cake as a way in, as a way of kind of connecting with her, and he's got his sister to bake this beautiful angel cake that he's going to transport to Ruby's, and this is going to make her love him, essentially. But every time he tries to take the cake, everywhere he goes, there's something comes up in his path, and he can't get there for a long time, and you don't know if he will, and it's really nerve-wracking. It really puts you on edge. It really makes you feel for Ephraim and the struggle he's going through. It's brilliant. It's really brilliant, but just so unsettling. I'll read you, I found a nice little bit. It's about 2/3 of a page. It's talking about a woman called Never Bell, and I just thought it was kind of, the end of this bit is just wonderful. Know how some men won't work hard at nothing except doing wrong? Well, that man who could barely lift his head to say hello to folks, who wouldn't raise a hand to catch it if his soul was drifting off, somehow got the wherewith to chase Never Bell up and down that red road in that black fair lane of his. She say no ever way she could think of, but yet he chase and chase for months on end, chase all the black fellas away, chase away what few friends she had, chase so she didn't feel safe walking with her own sisters. She made them follow a mile behind. He chased her till she didn't know where to turn, chase her till that apple left her cheeks, chase away her hope and any dreams she might have been kindling about that yeller English teacher from Louisville. Mr. Leach chased her till she was tired enough to let him catch her, one Sunday after church in a ditch out by Marion Lake. Some folks say after time she come to love him. Others say she just gave in to shame. Me, I don't know much, except that he chased her all the way to Lonely. And once you make it there, ain't too many choices left. Just beautiful and absolutely 100% heartbreaking. And it continues in that vein all the way through, these horrible things happening. It's very violent and very kind of sexually violent and just unrelenting, completely unrelenting. And it's almost unreadable. And I think for me, what makes it readable, I read a lot of fiction like this, and this is really just, well, I read a lot of very risque fiction which deals with, you know, quite strong themes, and this was almost too much for me. And I think what makes it bearable is there's an element of magical realism. So there's spirits and there's ghosts, and it detracts just enough from all of the horrific things that are happening to make it palatable for the reader. I think without that, maybe I wouldn't. I probably would have finished the book. Without that, I think probably I would have just been too physically kind of tense and on edge with the whole thing. So it really makes it something you can read. I guess my review ultimately is wonderful, wonderfully, beautifully written, and I just don't know if I enjoyed it. I'd love to hear other people's opinions on it. I think that would be really fascinating to me. Please leave a comment below if you have read it and tell me what you think. I really want to know if you had the same physical response to it that I did, or whether that's, you know, whether it turns out I'm not as kind of au fait with that kind of thing as I think I am. Really curious to hear what others have to say on this book. So please do leave a comment, and if you liked this video or if you'd like to see more of me, then please subscribe to my channel, and I'll hopefully see you guys again soon.